Calzone in the oven. It is still very much hot here. Happy Tuesday, everybody. And gosh, it feels like a Wednesday. It's very loud out here. Let's go to the office, actually. It's still very hot. It's today's high was like 95, 97, 93, something. It was one of the odd numbers there. It was very hot. I didn't like it, but that's life. So yesterday we didn't want to cook anything because we didn't want to heat up the apartment. We were sick of not having a nice, good cooked dinner. So I said, screw it, I'm going to cook something anyway. So we have a calzone in the oven. And but it's early. It's already 6:20. I guess that's pretty early. Yeah, that's fine. So that'll give us a few hours to let the air conditioner run and cool off the apartment before we go to bed. So that'll be good. Because it's hot in here now. Because I had to cook up the chicken on the stove and then put it all in the oven. So now this thing is hot, and I've got 2 fans going and the air conditioner to kind of try to get the hot air out and the cool air in, but you can only do so much when you have this. It was a very interesting experience because as we went food shopping before this, we were walking through the supermarket and the supermarket lost power. And it wasn't due to a thunderstorm or anything like that. It's just because people are just sucking so much electricity off the grid with their air conditioners turning on. And this is a very common thing this time of year, is brownouts, as they call it, where so much energy is being sucked from the grid that you just, you quickly, power, lights might flicker or dim or whatever. But we were full out standing in darkness for like a split second. They didn't just flicker, they flickered. It was like a horror movie. It was like the emergency generator come on. But then, of course, as a result of that, all of the cash registers were all shut down, and so they had to reboot, and those things take forever to boot up. I remember, because I used to work there when I was a kid. They take forever to boot up. They haven't changed. The cash registers are the same cash registers I used when I worked there when I was 17, 18 years old. So, anyway, last night was Sony's press conference, and it was a really impressively presented press conference, and they came out swinging pretty heavy and hard with just title after title after title after title. But once they hit Call of Duty, which was kind of the middle of it, everything after that was just kind of and the Spider-Man thing was kind of cool to end on, but I'm not as excited about that game now as I was a year ago, because it just looks like QuickTime events the game. And I'm over QTEs. And and I understand because it makes it look a lot more cinematographic. Make it look cooler. That's going to bug me that I can't come up with that word, but it looks cooler and more streamlined and all that jazz, but it's just QuickTime events, and I'm not on board with that. I don't know. It's going to have to be knocking ratings out of the park, and people that actually know and trust actually are going to have to play the game and be like, it's a good game. I might wait and see if the Completionist does a day 1 release of it. And then Nintendo went today, and they did their Nintendo Spotlight, which was cool. And again, now the Spotlight was just Switch games. That was it. No mobile games, no 3DS games, just Switch games. And so everyone, myself included, was okay, so the 3DS is dead. Nintendo was just banking on the Switch to get them through it. But they announced some pretty solid Switch titles. They said they were going to do, and these are just the ones that caught my eye. There was a new Kirby game, the Yoshi Woolly World 2, or what, I don't know what it's called, but it's another Yoshi's Woolly World game. Mario Odyssey, obviously, we got a great look at that. I'm very excited for that game. A new Metroid Prime game, which is huge. I don't know, there's a whole bunch. I had a list written down, and it stuck on a sticky note to the back of my cell phone, and I don't know where my cell phone is right now. And a bunch of things like that. And so then they start the Nintendo Treehouse, where, and they also announced a Pokemon RPG will be coming to Nintendo Switch, way out in the distance. And then they also kind of reveal a little bit about the Switch's, Breath of the Wild DLC. So that was kind of neat as well. So then the Nintendo Treehouse starts, and they're like, alright, Mario Odyssey, here's everything going on with that. Here's a bunch of cool new stuff about the game, and it was really cool. That big band jazz piece that they had to go along with it was wicked cool, and I loved it. And then suddenly Metroid Return of Samus, or Samus Returns, or whatever it's called. Like, another Metroid game. 2 Metroid games announced. One for the 3DS. It's like, oh, cool, maybe 3DS isn't dead. And then some more stuff going later, and then boom, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga redone for the 3DS, along with Bowser's Minions, which is a new IP. Well, new game, it's not an IP, but it's a new game. That takes place in the same world and parallel to Superstar Saga, but it's all about Bowser's Minions that get lost from the shipwreck at the beginning of the game. Spoilers. I'm not super fond of the art style of it. It's the same art style as Dream Team, and that was one of my big complaints with Dream Team, is I didn't like the art style. That lighting, just like the three-dimensional bloom lighting on two-dimensional what's the freaking word I'm looking for? Like pixelated graphics. Just, it looks really weird and I don't like it. Everyone seems really excited about it. I'm the only person that I've seen who is like, I think I prefer the original, honestly, but I might get it just to have another place to play it. I don't know. But yeah, Nintendo, to me, I think Nintendo won E3 this year. I'm not just saying that as a Nintendo fanboy. As someone who also owns a PlayStation 4, I think PlayStation came close to last. I think that Xbox or Ubisoft might be tied for second. Like, they're combating for second or third, because they both had pretty solid press conferences, and I love to make fun of Microsoft, but they had a pretty solid showing this year, so they needed to come out with a reason for you to buy an Xbox, and they did just that. I'm still not buying one, but, you know. And then EA is EA, and the PC show is the PC show, but Sony just, they were just lacking. Like, their presentation was wicked cool with the water graphics coming down and the live band and all the like cool things, like the Omni projector that kind of like put the water over the whole audience and on the walls and stuff like that. And they announced some cute looking games and some cool looking games or whatever, but it was like, there were just so many things I wanted an update on, that I wanted to know more about. What is going on with Final Fantasy VII? What is going on with The Last of Us 2? And they're like, well, they just talked about those at their other press conference. It's like, well, but they didn't talk about, like, they gave us a teaser trailer for it. And so now you're supposed to, this is The Last of Us, now you're supposed to give us something more, talk about some content, or just show the trailer again, just to be like, yeah, you remember this, eh? I don't know. Sony was very frustrating to me. I love Sony. I'm sorry, I feel bad talking bad about, you know, a company I love so much, but I'm still just looking forward to Crash Bandicoot on June 30th, so, which actually comes out the day before we leave for a week. So we're going to get it and probably play it that night, stay up late playing it, I might think, and then sleep in, wake up, and go away. Yeah, that's going to be it. I got to go get my calzone out of the oven at this point. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys... Oh, sorry. So what did you think of E3? Where were your power rankings and all that stuff? And we'll probably have a much more in-depth conversation about this, either on one of my live streams or on our podcast over on Matt Lane's channel. That's something we are going to be rebooting soon. He wanted to wait until he got back from his vacation week, and he is now back, unfortunately. We were going to do a pre-E3 episode of what we wanted to see and all that stuff, but he wasn't around for it, so we couldn't. And then we were also going to do something during E3, but again, he wasn't around for it, so we'll have a much post-E3 conversation probably in a few weeks. So that'll be that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed E3 as much as I did. Nintendo's still going. They might still announce some new things in the next coming days. Currently going on as we speak is the Splatoon 2 tournament, and I'm not watching it just because I'm doing other things. I'm now going to edit some vlogs, play PUBG, eat some dinner, things like that. But yeah, it was a day. It was good. Nintendo did good. Nintendo brought it. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching.